Hello and welcome to part 10 of every spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where we look at all the spirits year by year and examine their numerous origins. I spent many 5s of minutes trying to think of a funny intro for this one and came up with nothing, so off to the Dsim millennia of 1991 then. E. Honda is a sumo wrestler from Japan and one of the many Street Fighters introduced in Street Fighter II. A friendly and honorable man, he prides himself in his sumo strength and takes great value in the sport, loathing anyone who would disrespect it or him. In fact, the whole reason he entered the Street Fighter tourney was to prove to the world the strength of sumo. Ironically, while his fighting style is based on sumo wrestling, some of his moves would be prohibited in a real sumo match. Since then, he's appeared a handful of times in future games such as Street Fighter Alpha 2 and 3, Super Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighters 5 and 6. In Smash Ultimate, E. Honda does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you can obtain him by summoning, with the cores of Sumo Brothers and Piston Hondo. The Sumo Bros are sumos, and Piston is a Japanese fist fighter. After being summoned, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with his effect being Strong Throw, likely referencing his special attack, the Oicho Throw. Blanca is a feral man from the jungles of Brazil and contestant in the Street Fighter series. In spite of his frightening appearance, Blanca is generally passive, a fan of children, and won't attack unless provoked. If he is provoked, he'll attack by either curling into a ball and charging, or releasing several thousand volts of electricity to fry his attackers. Or sometimes both at once. His ending in Street Fighter II also reveals his real name is Jimmy, and he was forced to grow in the wild after surviving from a plane crash. Since then, he's also been present in Street Fighters 4, 5, 6, and Alpha 3. In Smash Ultimate, Blanca's Spirit Battle has you fight against a green DK, another large green ferocious fighter. The stage you fight him on is Jungle Japes, referencing Blanca's home stage from Street Fighter II, the Amazon River Basin, and the music is Blanca Stage Type A. The rules for the battle will decrease your jumping power, referencing Street Fighter being a grounded fighting game, and the conditions will make it a stamina battle and make the enemies start with a screw attack. The stamina battle references Street Fighter's health meters, and the screw attack references Blanca's rolling and electrical attacks. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a shield-type spirit, with his effect being Electric Attack Up, again referencing Blanca's electrical attacks. Guile is a colonel for the United States Air Force, and one of the fighters in Street Fighter II. A tough man and stoic at heart, he loves his family above all else, including his brother-in-law, Ken. He's best friends with Charlie Nash, and when he's presumed dead at the hands of M. Bison and his Shadaloo organization, he vows to dismantle the sinister cabal at any cost. Guile's fighting style is very skill-based, patiently anticipating the opponent's next move with his iconic Sonic Boom and Flash Kick, both requiring charging motions. After his debut, he was also seen in Street Fighters 4, 5, and 6, and has made numerous crossover appearances, fighting characters from Tekken, SNK, and even Marvel. In Smash Ultimate, Guile is represented by Green Captain Falcon, a green pilot who specializes in close combat. The stage you fight him on is Pilot Wings, referencing Guile's home stage, the Air Force Base, and the music that plays is Guile's stage Type A. The rules will make assist trophy enemies spawn, specifically Guile, and decrease jump power, referencing Street Fighter being a grounded fighting game. The conditions make it a stamina battle, referencing Street Fighter's health meters. This spirit can also be obtained through summoning, using the cores of Nash, R-Wing, 2 shield cores, and a grab core. The R-Wing references that he's a pilot, and Nash is his close friend. After being defeated or summoned, he can be equipped as a shield-type spirit, referencing Guile's defensive playstyle, and his effect is Foot Attack Up, referencing his Flash Kick. ChunLi is the main female protagonist of the Street Fighter series, debuting in Street Fighter II. She is an expert martial artist from China, and while normally calm, she is a bit touchy about people mocking her position as an Interpol officer. Her father was killed by Bison's Shadaloo organization, giving her the perfect motive to enter the Street Fighter II tourney. Her fighting style combines blinding agility with Chinese martial arts, mostly Tai Chi, tearing into foes with rapid-fire kicks. Being the main female mascot, she's appeared in most games in the franchise and has made several appearances in much of the related media and crossovers. In Smash Ultimate, Chun-Li does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you must obtain her by enhancing the Chun-Li Street Fighter Alpha spirit, her younger self. After being obtained, she can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, with her effect being physical attack up, referencing her fighting style of rapid kicking. Zangief, aka the Red Cyclone, is one of the many combatants seen in Street Fighter II. He hails from and fights for the glorious motherland of Russia, and is even a national Russian hero. He was specifically raised in the USSR, and holds high patriotic values as such. He's short-tempered and boisterous, but is gentle with a good sense of humor. His combat style mixes Russian and American wrestling with potent throws, making for a nasty threat at close range, and giving fighters with projectiles an advantage. Following his debut, he's appeared in Street Fighters 3 to 6, Alpha 2 and 3, and several games in the Street Fighter EX sub-series. In Smash Ultimate, Zangief is represented by Incineroar, a fellow Red wrestler. The stage you fight him on is Boxing Ring, referencing Zangief's home stage, the Boxing Ring-esque Big Factory, and the music is Zangief Stage Type A. The rules will decrease your jump power, referencing Street Fighter's grounded fighting style. The conditions will make the enemy's throws and physical attacks have increased power, and make it a stamina battle. The stamina battle references Street Fighter's health bars, while the throws and physical attacks references Zangief's grappling and throwing moves. After being defeated, Zangief cannot be equipped. Instead, he will unlock the Dojo Overthrow style. Dsim is an Indian yoga master and combatant in the Street Fighter series. As one would expect, he's calm, stoic, and refuses to kill even the most horrid men. In fact, he considers himself a pacifist, despite his street fighting experience. His yoga skills form the basis of his moveset, letting him stretch his limbs to fight from a distance, along with fire-based moves thanks to the blessing of the fire god Agony. Following his debut, he also appeared in Street Fighter 4 to 6, and several crossovers with Tekken, Mega Man, and even Brawlhalla. In Smash Ultimate, Dsim does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you obtain him by summoning, with the cores of Fireman and Great Tiger. Great Tiger is a fellow Indian fighter, and Fireman attacks with fire attacks. After being summoned, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, possibly because he's a pacifist, and his effect is Lava Floor immunity, referencing his fire moves. Balrog is the vice-filled African-American boxer of the Street Fighter cast. Balrog is aggressive, egomaniacal, and sadistic, refusing to take responsibility for his actions. He has an insatiable love for money, booze, and women, and he often resorted to cheating in his prize-fighting boxer days. He joined M. Bison's ScHlAuChi organization to amass wealth, fame, and glory, so that he can properly coast through life. As a boxer, his moveset is based on undisciplined boxing, using illegal moves and raw strength to overpower his enemies. Street Fighter V, however, would give him more nuance in his moves, including a body twirl to deflect projectiles and string together combos. In Smash Ultimate, Balrog is represented by Little Mac, a fellow boxer in blue shorts. The stage you fight him on is 4-side, referencing Balrog's home stage, Las Vegas, and the music is Balrog Stage Type A. The rules will decrease your jump power, since Street Fighter is a grounded fighting game, and the conditions will make it a stamina battle, referencing Street Fighter's health meters, and make the enemy not like to jump, likely referencing Balrog's grounded brute force strategies. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since he's one of Bison's henchmen, and his effect is Neutral Special Up, possibly referencing Little Mac's neutral special, the Flaming Straight Lunge, being similar to some of Balrog's moves. Vega is a masked narcissist and member of ScHlAuChi in the Street Fighter series. The poster child for vain, overconfident tools the world over, Vega adores himself and has total confidence in his abilities. He's also highly sadistic, taking pleasure in seeing ugly people killed or better still, mutilated. His ego is so big his home is covered in pictures of himself, and his mask isn't there to protect his identity, but rather protect his face from scarring. His fighting style, Spanish ninjutsu, mixes ninjutsu with bullfighting as well as a fragile claw to extend his reach, making Vega one of the quickest yet most delicate fighters of the bunch. He's also been seen in Street Fighters 4 to 6 and Street Fighter Alpha 3. In Smash Ultimate, Vega is represented by Meta Knight, referencing Vega's mask and claw weapons. The stage you fight him on is Arena Ferox, referencing Fighting Barum, Vega's home stage, and the music is Vega Stage Type A. The rules will decrease your jumping power, since Street Fighter is a grounded fighting game, and the conditions will make it a stamina battle, referencing Street Fighter's health meters, and make the enemy love to jump, referencing Viga's agility. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, with his effect being weight down, likely another reference to Viga's agility. Bison is a self-imposed dictator and the primary villain of the Street Fighter series. He's the leader of ScHlAuChi, a criminal organization specializing in arms dealings and biochemical weapons. Bison's origins are unknown, but what is known is he desires to conquer the whole world and be acknowledged as the strongest fighter in the world. Possessing a vast god complex, he'll stop at nothing to get his way, and his evil has influenced the lives of many of his fellow Street Fighters, including ChunLi, Guile, Cammy, and Yuri. He's appeared many more times in the franchise, and in Street Fighter 6 in particular, due to a prior death, he returned under the name Nameless Man, with some nasty amnesia, though still retaining his sadistic behavior. In Smash Ultimate, Bison's spirit is represented by a Violet Ganondorf, a large, muscular, would-be world conqueror. The stage you fight him on is Great Plateau Tower, referencing Bison's home stage, Temple Hideout, and the music is Bison Stage Type A. The rules for the battle will decrease your jump power, referencing Street Fighter being a grounded fighting game, and increase Bison's attack power, referencing Bison's Psycho Power, a psychokinetic energy that can increase one's power. The conditions for the battle make the enemy's special moves have increased power, likely also referencing Bison's Psycho Power, make the enemy reflect projectiles, referencing Bison's V skill, Psycho Reflect, and make it a stamina battle, referencing Street Fighter's health meters. This spirit can also be obtained through summoning, using the cores of Viga, Sagat, and Balrog. All four of these characters make up the four Kings of ScHlAuChi, the highest members of the organization. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, with his effect being PSI attack up, likely one more reference to his Psycho Power. Dr. Wright is a kindly city advisor who hails from the Sim City series. He made his debut in the 1981 SNES version of SimCity, developed by Nintendo, where he runs tutorial operations. He teaches the player how to town as well as they can, and pops up later to make various announcements, ranging from natural disasters to the city growing in size and splendor. Due to the SimCity franchise not being owned by Nintendo, although Dr. Wright is owned by Nintendo, he hasn't made too many further appearances. He did return in the Japan-exclusive HAL Labs-made SimCity 64, and characters referencing him appear in the Zelda series, namely Mr. Right and Dr. Left. His name is also in reference to SimCity's creator, Will Wright. In Smash Ultimate, Wright's Spirit Battle has you fight against 6 villagers, referencing the civilians of Sim City. The stage you fight them on is New Donk City Hall, referencing the titular Sim Cities, and the music is Light Plane Original, from another simulator game on the SNES. The rules for the battle make assist trophy enemies spawn, specifically Dr. Wright. This spirit is also able to be obtained through completing one of the challenges, specifically collecting 777 unique spirits. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since he serves as the player's advisor, and his effect is Ore Club equipped, referencing natural disasters in SimCity, like tornadoes. Dr. Ivo Robotnik, better known as Dr. Eggman, is the main antagonist of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. He debuted in the original Genesis game, where he, in a bid for world domination, began capturing animals for use as power sources for his robot army, as well as trying to find the mystical Chaos Emeralds to power weapons of mass destruction. Unfortunately for him, this caught the attention of the freedom-loving, oppression-hating Sonic, who thwarted his machinations. Since then, he's appeared in virtually every single piece of media in this franchise in some capacity, always trying to conquer the world and build his twisted dystopia of Eggman Land. While he simply made too many appearances to name, some of his most memorable plots were the creation of the Death Egg, awakening the ancient water god Chaos, releasing the ultimate life form, shattering the planet, and, most frighteningly, holding a race tournament.
Not just a race, but a special race to see who's the fastest!
In Smash Ultimate, Eggman's spirit has you fight against Roy and a Metal Sonic. Roy is Eggman, and with his round shape, glasses, and Eggmobile-like flying machine, and Metal Sonic references Eggman's greatest creation, Metal Sonic. The stage and music are both Green Hill Zone, taken from his debut game. The rules cause bomb festivals to occur, and make shooting-type items spawn, likely referencing the bombs and laser cannons that generally frequent Eggman's boss fights. This spirit can also be obtained through summoning, using the cores of Dr. Crygor, Chansey, Tamagon, and 2 grab cores. Dr. Crygor is a fellow scientist, Chansey is an egg Pokemon, and Tamagon hatches from an egg. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, likely a reference to him constantly trying to conquer the world, and his effect is Electric Attack Up, again referencing his mechanical genius and frequent use of laser attacks. Samus Gunship is a spaceship frequently used by Samus in the Metroid series. Given the series is set in space, Samus obviously needs a way to travel from planet to planet. This method was formally introduced in Metroid 2 as the Gunship. It's the single safest spot on any planet that Samus visits, allowing her to save, fully heal, and fully restock on any and all ammo she may have expended. This specific gunship has been seen in Metroid 2, Prime 2, and Other M, and is considered her most iconic. That said, she has been seen flying other ships in Zero Mission as well as Prime 3/Fed Force/Prime 4, and in Metroid Fusion, this iconic ship is destroyed in an asteroid belt, mandating a replacement seen in Fusion and Dread. In Smash Ultimate, the gunship does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you must purchase it from Funky Shack, since he sells nothing but vehicle-based spirits. After being bought, it can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since it's Samus' vehicle of choice, and its effect is Energy Shot Attack/Resistance Up, likely as its armor and shields would help protect against any laser fire while flying. Queen Metroids are the final, ultimate evolution of the Metroid race, introduced in Metroid 2: Return of Samus. Only Metroids with very specific genes can metamorphose into the Queens, allowing them to spawn new Metroids. In Metroid 2, the Queen serves as the final boss, only able to be fought when all the other Metroids were exterminated. She fights with energy bursts and bites, but is vulnerable to missiles in the mouth. When stunned, Samus can morph ball bomb her stomach into oblivion and end the Metroid menace once and for all. However, another Queen Metroid appears in Other M, the result of the Galactic Federation altering the genes of a Metroid cloned from the baby. This one is fought in the bottle ship, and is destroyed with a power bomb to the stomach. In Smash Ultimate, the Queen Metroid is represented by a brown King K. Rool, a fellow large royal reptilian. The stage you fight her on is Brinestar, referencing her nest in Samus Returns Area 8, and the music that plays is Boss Battle 4 from Metroid Samus Returns, used in a fight with the Zeta Metroid, another evolved Metroid creature. The rules for the battle make the enemy giant, referencing how Queen Metroid is the biggest Metroid, and increase her attack power, referencing how she's the strongest of Metroids. The conditions for the battle make it a stamina battle, referencing her health meter as a boss. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, and her effect is Jump Down, referencing her inability to jump. Agahnim is an alter ego of Ganon and secondary antagonist of Zelda: A Link to the Past. He once saved Hyrule from monsters, earning his prestige as the chief advisor of King Hyrule. However, this was all merely a plan to depose the king, brainwash his soldiers, and cast the descendants of the Seven Sages to the Dark World. When the last of the seven, Zelda, is sent to the Dark World, Link follows and learns that Agahnim is a servant of Ganon. Upon Aganim's final defeat, Ganon's shadow can be seen emerging from him, revealing that Agahnim was Ganon all along. And despite having the full power of the Triforce at his disposal, Link still manages to kill him once and for all, until the next game. In Smash Ultimate, Agahnim is represented by 2 red robins, referencing Aganim's magic attacks. The stage you fight him on is Temple from the Zelda series, and the music is Dark World Brawl, referencing the Dark World where Agahnim was fought. The rules for the battle will increase your reflect damage, referencing how Agahnim could only be beaten by reflecting his own magic back at him. The conditions for the battle make the enemy's magic attack have increased power, and make the enemy favor special moves, both of which referencing Aganim's elemental magic. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a shield-type primary spirit, since Agahnim cannot be directly hurt, and his effect is Magic Attack Up, again referencing his elemental magics. Cuckoos are chicken-like creatures hailing from the Zelda series. Introduced in Link to the Past, cuckoos are generally passive livestock, raised much like real-world chickens. However, if Link attacks one, whether by accident or with intent, he'll get a taste of their revenge squad. An entire mob of cuckoos will descend on Link, mercilessly attacking him in retaliation. They will only leave if you leave the area, die, or sometimes after enough time passes. Since their debut, cuckoos have appeared in most Zelda games sporting the same behavior, and Link's Awakening, Link got the ability to glide through the air using a cuckoo to carry him, which has also been carried forward in games like Ocarina of Time, the Oracle Duology, and Twilight Princess. In Smash Ultimate, Cuckoo is represented by 5 tiny white Falcos, referencing the Cuckoo Revenge Squad. The stage you fight them on is Skyloft, likely since cuckoos are birds, and the music is Village of the Blue Maiden, a remix of Kakariko Village where cuckoos commonly inhabit. The rules will make cuckoo items spawn, and the conditions will make the enemy favor neutral air attacks, possibly referencing cuckoos being birds. This spirit can also be obtained through purchasing from Timmy and Tommy's, like other animal-based spirits. After being defeated, the Cuckoo can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since it appears as an item in Smash, and its effect is Floaty Jumps, referencing the Cuckoo's gliding. Great Fairies are large fairies providing several helpful services in the Zelda series. In the original Legend of Zelda, these fairies appeared exactly like normal fairies, but bigger, and were not identified as Great Fairies specifically. They were formally introduced in Link to the Past, where they can be found scattered across Hyrule. If Link finds one, they will completely heal his wounds, and the one in the Waterfall of Wishing specifically can upgrade weapons if they're tossed in her pool. Since then, they've appeared in many Zelda games, continuing to provide full heals and item upgrades. They also gain the ability to refill Link's magic meter if one is present, such as in Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker. In Smash Ultimate, the Great Fairy is represented by Giant Zelda, a fellow giant magical woman. The stage you fight her on is Fountain of Dreams, representing the Great Fairy Fountains, and the music that plays is the Ocarina of Time medley. The rules for the battle make the enemy's health recover after hitting 100, referencing the Great Fairy's healing powers, and the conditions make the enemy's special moves have increased power, and make the enemy's final smash meter charge quickly. The final smash meter charging quickly might be a reference to the Great Fairy's ability to refill the magic meter, and the special moves are likely a reference to the fact that all 3 are spells that the Great Fairy would teach Link: Nehru's Love, Din's Fire, and Ferore's Wind. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since Great Fairies heal and offer other services to Link, and their effect is critical health healing, referencing their healing powers once again. The Fairy Bottle is a healing item, introduced in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Fairies were introduced in the original Legend of Zelda, healing Link if they make contact with him. Link to the Past introduced empty bottles, an item that Link can use to contain various things, such as potions or insects. Using a butterfly net, Link could catch fairies and jar them for future use, healing him once they're used. However, since this frees the fairy, they are one-time use items, and will often be used automatically when Link dies, essentially acting as an extra life. The same functionality, whether using empty bottles or specialized fairy bottles, has since become a staple of the franchise, returning for Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Echoes of Wisdom, among many others. In Smash Ultimate, the fairy bottle is represented by pink young Link, matching the color of a standard fairy. The stage is Fountain of Dreams, representing a fairy fountain, and the music is Saria's theme, possibly since the tribe Saria is a part of, the Kokiri, all have guardian fairies. The rules for the battle will make sudden damage occur, referencing the fairy bottle's healing abilities, and the condition will make the enemy start the battle with a fairy bottle, and make them have increased defense, again referencing the fairy bottle's healing. After being defeated, the Fairy Bottle can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since it's an item in Smash, and its effect is Fairy Bottle equipped, for reasons I don't think I need to elaborate on. Andy Bogard is the younger brother of Terry, appearing in the Fatal Fury series. In contrast to his brother, Andy is stoic, quiet, and somewhat insecure over his height and inability to beat his brother in a fight. As a kid, his and Terry's father was killed by Geese Howard, compelling them to train in combat and seek revenge. In contrast to Terry's street fighting style, Andy's moves combine karate and ninjutsu, aiming to incapacitate and not kill. Like his brother, Andy has appeared in every Fatal Fury game, as well as the King of Fighters series, which is set in an alternate timeline that splits off after Fatal Fury 2. In Smash Ultimate, Andy is represented by Fox, a fast, nimble fighter with dash attacks and fire moves. The stage you fight him on is Delfino Plaza, referencing Venice, Italy, Andy's home stage in Fatal Fury 2, and the music is Pasta, the main theme of that stage. The rules for the battle will decrease the jump power, and the conditions will make it a stamina battle, referencing Fatal Fury having health bars and being a grounded fighting game. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with his effect being lightweight, referencing Andy's agility. Joe Higashi is a Muay Thai practitioner from the Fatal Fury series. Joe was born in Japan, but spent much of his life in Thailand to practice martial arts. He continued to travel abroad, running into the Bogards as they were searching for Geese. He was the one who told them about the King of Fighters tourney Geese was holding, and they've been friends ever since. At first, Joe was rather stoic, but as the Fatal Fury and King of Fighters series continued, he'd evolve into a goofy comic relief fighter who loves to fight and proclaims himself a genius. He also tries to date Lily, which earns him Billy's fiery ire. In Smash Ultimate, Joe is represented by Incineroar, a Tiger-themed fighter with explosive kicks. The stage you fight him on is Congo Falls, referencing Chiang Mai, Thailand, Joe's home stage from Fatal Fury 2. The music that plays is a new poem that the South Thailand wants to tell, the theme of that stage. The rules for the battle will decrease jump power, referencing Fatal Fury being a grounded fighting game, and the conditions will make it a stamina battle, referencing Fatal Fury's health bars, and make the enemy start the battle with an ore club, referencing Joe's ability to summon small hurricanes. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, which might not reference anything in particular, I think. Geese Howard is the main villain of Fatal Fury, secondary villain of Art of Fighting, and villain/anti-hero of the King of Fighters series. Geese is a man who craves power in all forms, from all the world's wealth to immortality. This was fueled by various childhood tragedies, though he does maintain his own code of honor. Despite that, he still killed Jeff Bogard, fueling the fires that made Terry and Andy hunt him down. Geese gets thrown out of a window to his supposed death, but he got better thanks to the Phoenix Scroll in his possession. He was similarly thrown to his death, this time for good, in real bout Fatal Fury. But thanks to the King of Fighters series taking place in an alternate timeline, he's continued to make appearances up to the present, even appearing as a guest fighter in Tekken 7. In Smash Ultimate, Geese is represented by a Mii brawler dressed in a Zelda wig and business suit, with the moves Flashing Mach Punch, Suplex, Helicopter Kick, and Counter Throw. This is based on Geese's appearance in Art of Fighting 2, with his moves referencing Geese's throws, counter throws, and locks. The stage you fight him on is Fourside, referencing Geese's home turf, Geese Tower, and the music is Soy Sauce for Geese, from Fatal Fury Special. The rules will decrease your jump power, referencing Fatal Fury being a grounded fighting game, and the conditions make it a stamina battle, referencing Fatal Fury's health bars, and make the enemy's throws have increased power, referencing Geese's use of throws in battle. After being defeated, Geese can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with his effect being Critical Fast Final Smash Meter Up, referencing Geese's power to gather chi and use it to boost his strongest attacks, much like a Final Smash would. Drillman, or Dr. Wily number 027, is one of the 8 Robot Masters fought in Mega Man 4. Drillman, and the other 7, were built by Dr. Cossack, who was forced to work under Wily after he kidnapped Cossack's daughter. Drillman was originally built as a mining robot, using 2 powerful drills to carve through the hardest of stones and earth. He uses them to burrow underground to avoid enemies, before attacking with Drill Bomb, a bomb that drills into foes to blow them up from the inside. While hardworking, he's also been described as haphazard, and would later be seen in Mega Man in Base, Mega Man 3, and Mega Man X Dive. In Smash Ultimate, Drillman does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you must purchase him from Sheldon's place, like other various mechanical spirits. After being purchased, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since Mega can use his weapon, and his effect is Drill-equipped, referencing his drill bombs. Dive Man, or Dr. Wily number 031, is another one of the 8 Robot Masters featured in Mega Man 4. Like the rest, Dive Man was created by Dr. Cossack, being retooled for combat after his forced partnership with Wily. He's also a good listener, though prone to motion sickness. Originally built as a robotic submarine, he fights with torpedo launchers and a propeller to charge at his opponents. Upon defeat, he gave the dive missile, letting rock fire homing torpedoes, and he would later be seen in Mega Man 3, Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters, and Rockman Strategy. In Smash Ultimate, Dive Man is represented by 2 cyan Mega Men, blue humanoid robots. The stage you fight him on is Great Bay, referencing Dive Man's stage, and the music that plays is the Mega Man 4 medley. The conditions for the battle make it a stamina battle, referencing the health meters that Mega Man uses, and make the enemy start the battle with a Steel Diver, referencing the Dive Missile. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since Mega can steal and use his weapon, and his effect is Steel Diver equipped, again referencing another weapon that fires torpedoes, like the Dive Missile. ScHlMan, or Dr. Wily number 032, is another Robot Master built by Cossack and Wily in Mega Man 4. ScHlMan was built specifically for combat, and possibly was also built specifically to fight Mega on Wily's behalf. His fight is unique in that he won't move until Mega Man does, with his actions being determined by exactly what Mega chooses to do, attacking if he moves and dodging when attacked. His weapon is the Skull Barrier, a harmless barrier that will bounce back any and all of Mega's shots. Being built solely for combat, ScHlMan is not good at socializing, but nevertheless has appeared in future games like Mega Man 3, Rockman Strategy, and Mega Man Soccer. In Smash Ultimate, ScHlMan is represented by a white Samus, a masked mechanical fighter. The stage you fight him on is Wily Castle from Mega Man, and the music that plays is the Mega Man 4 medley. The rules for the battle will increase reflect damage, referencing the reflective skull barrier, and the conditions will make the enemy reflect projectiles, again referencing the reflective skull barrier, and make it a stamina battle, referencing Mega Man's health meters. After being defeated, ScHlMan can be equipped as a shield-type primary spirit, likely again referencing his skull barrier. The Wily Capsule is a powerful flying machine serving as the final boss of several classic Mega Man games. In Mega Man 1-3, Wily's final fight took place with a towering Wily machine. Starting in Mega Man 4, the Wily Capsule was introduced as Wily's second phase fight, being faster, stronger, and often much more challenging. The original Capsule attacked with a massive and fast, if very easily telegraphed, energy blast, and was completely invincible when it was hidden in the dark. Newer versions of the Capsule would appear in Mega Man's 5-10, maintaining many of the same base elements. Ultimate Spirit and Assist Trophy are based on the Wily Capsule 7 from Mega Man 7, the most infamous one of the lot due to its erratic attacks, teleporting, and resulting insane final difficulty. In Smash Ultimate, the Wily Capsule is represented by a giant metal Rob, likely referencing the Wily machines that precede the capsules. The stage you fight them on is Wily Castle, Wily's home base, and the music is the Mega Man 2 medley. The rules for the battle make Assist Trophy enemies spawn, specifically Wily Capsule, and the conditions will make it a stamina battle, referencing Mega Man's health meters. This spirit can also be obtained through purchasing it from Funky Shack, like various other vehicular-based spirits. After being defeated, it can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, which may not reference anything in particular. And that's all the spirits introduced in 1991. Thank you very much for watching, and tune in next time where we talk about the spirits that debuted in 1992, one of the greatest years in human history, as that was the year that Kirby was born.